So I'm going to be busy for the next little while, so let's talk after the show. Yeah, here in the office, here in the boardroom. Let's talk after the show with HR. Okay? Yeah, right after the show. Here in the boardroom. HR. Yeah. Okay. Have a nice day. Bye. So, welcome to Season 2, Episode 5 of Niagara 411 Live with Lee Sterry. We are fueled by Gale's Gas Bar. We are powered by WeeStream. We are hosted by Fiddler's Poorhouse. And we are also content sharers and contributors, and back and forth with Nick and his wonderful gang of contributors at Niagara 411. So, as we were making reference to, there have been a lot of changes in the media world over the last little while, and we are very, very happy here at Niagara 411 Live to be on the other side of that and blazing new trails as opposed to trying to preserve old ones. And we might have a chance to talk a little bit more about that as time goes by. For now, we're going to talk Niagara-on-the-Lake family on Family Feud. We're going to talk community skating opportunities and a fabulous initiative that's happening called Niagara Toolbox on the show. So come on in and join us. Okay. So here we get going. And welcome to the programming. What an absolutely beautiful day. And the very first thing I want to do is send out kudos to our pal and partner and creator and executive producer, give him whatever epithet you would like, Kevin Jack of WeeStreem, for that fancy schmancy new opening, looking kind of groovy, getting down and jiggy with that, as they used to say. Kevin, how are you today?
I'm doing very well. Yeah, we threw in a little intro there, so
Yeah.
something to just spruce up the program. Things are looking a little better around Niagara 411, and as you alluded to, my heart goes out to some of our colleagues in local media. You and I, Lee, both come from the same talk radio background, and some people lost their jobs yesterday as Bell Media makes more and more cuts, and I'm so happy that we are on this side of the media game, as you mentioned, not trying to preserve old models, but blazing a trail with a new model, and it's Niagara's own. So happy to be here live with you from Fiddler's Poorhouse on Niagara 411 Live.
And certainly not to put too fine a point on it, and I do not want to minimize in any way, shape, or form the traumatic events of the last few days with our comrades, current and past, in the media business. Bell Media is the one that's been in the news over the last little while, of course, but it's happened across the platforms of traditional media. It's happened at Rogers, it's happened at Chorus, and those are the big guys that have experienced this, and it is a state of affairs that's unfortunate for the people that are working in those mature industries that are struggling with all of the pressures that are on revenue-based media operations. And what media operations are not revenue-based? Every business is revenue-based, and those bases change. Those dynamics change, fragmentation of audience, fragmentation of advertising dollars, and then you throw COVID into the mix on top of that, and it creates harbingers for massive, massive change, and real people and real families get caught up in this through no fault of their own, and oftentimes, dare I say it, through no fault of the business climate being what it is. I think really the thing, though, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on this because it would be navel-gazing because of our background being in media, Kevin and mine. We feel for our comrades that have been dealt a very traumatic and psychological blow over the past week. and months and years, actually, if you want to combine all the things that have happened in various media companies over the last little while. But the most recent, the open wound, if you will, right now, is the wound of the Bell Media cuts across the country. And we're closer to it than you, so we will probably feel that residual pain a little bit more than you do. So that's why we're not going to spend a lot of time on it, except to say that I would think the only major problem that exists here, that if you look at it from, as one of my mentors used to say, the 30,000-foot view, in other words, don't get too close to it or it'll make you crazy, is the fact that their timing really stunk. Because you have this initiative that they do every year with a view to addressing and talking about mental illness and stress and community pressures and social issues and its effect on families and individuals, and then more than a couple of hundred people in 3 or 4 days and their families are basically changed forever. For some people, it might be the best thing that ever happened. It's happened to me. I kind of expected it the minute I got into this business. It's happened to Kevin. And frankly, sometimes, and it's hard to see that now, but sometimes it can be the best thing that ever happened to you. And to most of the people that have gone through this, I hope that is your case. But yes, the corporate world is ugly, or can be, and gratuitous in its own self-saving way. And in spite of the epithets and the marketing plans and the promotions and the fundraisers, etc., at the end of the day, it's the bottom of the line. And we've all heard that before. So make no mistake. Anyway, our condolences and our thoughts go out to our comrades in the traditional media sense. And as Kevin said, we've all spent time there. I spent actually 45 years in traditional media at all levels. And make no mistake, I have had occasion to be on the other side of the table. I have had to sit across the table from very talented people, very good people, very warm souls, and friends of mine who I've had to say, I'm sorry, but there's no place for you here any longer. Then let me tell you, that is not an easy thing to do. I hated every second of it, but when you are saluting someone's flag on high instead of your own, sometimes you are put in that position where you have to do it. And what I want to say is, for those people that were, I say let go. That is a stupid phrase, isn't it? Let go.
They were fired.
Yeah. We're not letting you go. You didn't ask to go. What do you mean you're letting me go? I didn't ask to go, so why would you let me go? Because I don't want to go. These are stupid phrases. These are politically correct phrases that we use. Restructured out. Organizational change has eliminated the need for your position. Like all this crap, as I mentioned earlier, all the HR speak that we go through. What it boils down to is somebody said, hey, you got to cut X number of dollars, we got to cut X number of people, you got to get down to this number, so you figure out a way to do it and let me know. That's it. And somebody figures it out, and we can cut this number and that number and this, because we can have that, and boom, you're there you go.
Some really good people in Niagara, some family people raising families, have raised their families, lost their livelihoods yesterday. And it's really unfortunate. The sad part is, like you said, timing. Bell Media knew that they were holding these people on through Let's Talk Day. Their ad campaign failed as a mental health initiative, knowing in their back pocket that 5 days later they were going to can them all.
There was a person.
That's brutal. That's next level stuff.
There was a person taken out of their job here yesterday afternoon, day before yesterday or yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yesterday, and would have been out of a job 6 hours sooner, except for the fact that this person had to finish doing the on-air shift because they needed somebody to do the news. No. So we'll let this person do the news, and then give them the news, after the news.
Oh, and we'll tell everybody that, by the way, we're not done with cuts. Somebody else will be let go this afternoon. So try living with that. How's your mental health?
Yeah.
Knowing that all day, well, I got another conference call at 4 o'clock where somebody's going to be fired.
And the other thing that was going around, and again,
I'm sorry, Lee, but we speak the truth.
We do speak the truth.
This is what happens.
That's what this show does, and there is nobody that can dispute what we're saying. And we are very, very pleased that we are blazing new trails, as I mentioned when I was coming out of my office down there. I don't think Bell's going to shut down that office because I don't even think they know it exists. But the fact is that the thing that bothered me the most, I get downsizing, I get restructuring, I get shareholders and stock price and all that. I mean, I get it. It's the world we live in, and industries change. And again, the people will deal with it in their own way. The thing that I don't like is how some of it happened. I was informed that some of the people in Montreal, Toronto in particular, where they had some massive staff cuts, massive staffs. And the size is irrelevant. Even if it's two, it's two that are affected. But nevertheless, that's not where I was going. Where I was going was the fact that a lot of these people lost their jobs via a robocall, a computerized message in groups of 2 or 3, just to, I guess, make it simple for the administrative people.
That's cold.
And that is cold. And I have to say, and I did have to tell people that they no longer had jobs, because I was the manager at the time. I was the guy that they reported to. I was their supposedly protective umbrella from all the corporate crap up above. And but at least when I had to give people this message, I gave it to them in person, one-on-one, and boy, I got to tell you, it's not an easy thing to do, but it was a one-on-one personal conversation.
Okay, Lee, let's warm things up here. Let's warm the mood. I'm feeling a little down here. We got great stuff coming up on the show.
Kevin.
We got great stuff coming up on the show. This was big.
I know we do. I'm sorry. It's just...
no, I hear you. We're closer to it than most.
We are closer to it than most, and I thank you for breaking me out of my trance. Okay. We do have a great show coming up for you today. Again, thank you to Gales for fueling this program. WeeStreem, Niagara, Kevin and Brendan for doing this thing. Technologically, we have, I don't know if you noticed, there might, no, you wouldn't notice, but there's some new technology here. We've got, I'm looking at 3 little lenses instead of like 1 in this brand new iPhone here technology. And we're not paid by Apple. I'm just saying there's a nice crisp look to the program. So there's some different technology that we're going to have some fun with today. Now, coming up at 12:15 today is Danielle and Walter. They are members of the Gaio family, and they were on Family Feud. Last week, they appeared on Family Feud. And there's Danielle right there. She's going to be joining us at about 12:15, along with her dad, Walter. And it was an astounding interview, or a show, because of how Walter ended it up. He took it right to the end, and one of his answers got a whole lot of attention. So this is like the lightning round. They won the, is that what they call it? Lightning round?
It's fast money.
Fast money. So of course they ask the questions, and then Danielle gives her answers. Walter's off stage, and then they bring Walter out to answer the same question.
Just to impress.
A tuxedo.
Name a night of the week you never make plans.
Saturday.
Name something that comes with a breakfast special.
All right. Say no more. And of course, the family's standing over there behind the podium saying, like, huh? Dad? What?
Did you say Saturday?
People are sitting at home looking at their screen screaming, no. Okay. All right, also coming up at 12:45, Jeremy Paton, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, it could be Paton. Jeremy is going to be joining us. He posted a phenomenal video over the past week of a wonderful, luxurious, relaxing skate. People are just dying to get, Canadians and skating, and I'm not talking necessarily hockey, but it comes into it as well. Just being able to slap on the blades and go hang out and just cruise a bit on the ice. It's become quite a debate in this COVID era. People building their backyard rinks or community rinks, and they're not supposed to gather, and etc. And but Jeremy put up this great. There's just a piece of it. Right there. Isn't that lovely? Takes me back to my days as a kid. I grew up out in the Black Creek area, just between Fort Erie and Stevensville, and we backed on to Black Creek. And it would freeze like that. And the neighbors would get together and be covered in snow, etc. And the neighbors would get together and scrape off, sometimes they'd skate and scrape as they went. So that other people could come behind them and skate on some relatively smooth surfaces. And it was a great community kind of thing that we did. And that's what that's not where it is, but that's what reminded me of that when I saw Jeremy's video. So we're going to talk about skating and some of the controversies and sort of mixed messages that come around.
But, that trail there is in St. Catharines. He calls it his 4-minute skate down a secret skating pass. We'll find out where it is.
Yeah. And he actually intended to tell people where it was, but he did the whole video and didn't give us the location. But he will. And a great community effort called Niagara's Toolbox is underway again. I think it's, if I remember correctly, the 4th winter in a row that this young man has done this. His name is James Symons. And it's his charitable initiative, and we wanted to shine a light on a Niagaran that is continuing to reach out and support people in need here in Niagara. So we'll have Jeremy coming up with his skating at 12:45. About 1:10 is James Symons. And as Kevin said, we have Danielle and Walter, I believe, in our green room. And we are about to meet them. There they are. Oh, Walter, you got the same shirt on.
Yeah. I thought I might as well get dressed up for the occasion.
Have they let you even into the house to change since then?
Oh boy.
Yeah. No. Danielle, hi.
Hi.
Well, first of all, I gotta congratulate you guys for getting there and winning the $10,000. That was you hit the number. You hit the number right on the button, didn't you?
Well, that was all part of the plan.
So, okay, I don't know who's going to be the lead spokesperson here, but either one of you can take the lead on these questions. What was it that inspired your family to get started on this road to the Family Feud broadcast?
You tell them, Danielle. It was all your bright idea.
Oh, it was yours? Okay, go for it.
I was just watching TV one night and I saw a commercial saying that they were looking for families to audition for Family Feud for season 2. So I signed us up. I didn't even tell everybody else. I signed us up and then I just totally forgot about it because we didn't hear anything. And then a few months later, I got an email saying we made it on to the next round of auditions. So then I had to tell everybody then that I had signed us up.
So there was no family meeting.
No.
What was involved in the application, though? What sort of questions did you have to answer? What do you think qualified you to go to the next step?
I just had to explain who we were, so I just gave different descriptions on each family member, and I said that we would be looking forward to representing Niagara-on-the-Lake and our farming family, and I guess that worked.
Wow. Okay. So there are some people just acting like loony bin.
Yeah.
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 Actually, I thought you guys, Walter, Danielle, and your family, I thought you guys were you were the perfect Canadian family contestants because you were excited, you were happy to be there, but you didn't embarrass yourselves. You know what I mean? Like you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't go like phew, cow jumped over the moon type stuff. I thought you guys did great.
Yeah, I think we were just trying to be ourselves, I think. And
Yeah. All right. Well, gosh, would I love to have dinner at your place?
I think, and Jerry
Not on
feeds-
Saturday.
Oh, sorry.
Not on Saturday, because you don't make plans.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. And everybody knows now.
Maybe Monday. So, all right. So now you're going to the reason I'm asking this is most people have, well, all of us have no idea what happens when these shows take place, because it's not necessarily what we just see on the screen. So, okay, now you got phase 2. You're going to phase 2. What happens then?
So we had to audition again against a different family. So we had to play a virtual Family Feud game against a family from a different, like they were from a different province. So we did a practice round just to see how our energy was and how we would do on the spot answering a question.
Okay. And was that like a full length show, or was it like a 10-minute audition, or what?
The full
Half
thing
hour?
probably, yeah, half hour.
Half hour? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you obviously did okay. So is it in that case, is it one of the families goes and one doesn't, or could both families go through?
I think they just, then they probably just have a pool maybe.
Right.
And then they just, decide who's maybe on this season or who's on next season. So,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously you did okay, and they thought, okay, well, these people made the cut. Then what?
Then we
When
had,
did they notify you?
About when? Yeah.
Around September, they said that we had made it on and that our air date was going to be sometime in October.
Okay.
So then we had to, once we got our actual date, which was in October, we had to get COVID tests.
Oh, okay. That's good. All right.
Yeah, so we had to do all that and make sure that those were negative before we could actually go on the show. So we did it like 2 days before the show, got the results, we were all negative, and we were able to go on the show.
Okay. So you did the show in October, and it didn't air till January.
25th, yeah.
Yeah. So all this time, you couldn't tell anybody how it turned out?
Nope.
That must have been really hard.
Especially when you're explaining to people. And the thing was, like, when we did tape the episode, and then when we were done taping it, like, it takes over an hour to do, and then they whittle all that down to like 20 minutes. So there was a lot.
Oh, might have just lost him there, Lee.
Oh, okay. We'll get him back.
Try and see if I can get him back here.
Yeah. There's so many questions for people that have been on these kinds of shows that all of us like, I wonder what that's like. I wonder what they do. And I was going to get to the most important, well, not the most important question, but I mean, how important can a question be about Family Feud, really? But anyway, just kidding. I wanted to ask them about what it's like on the spot. You know what it's like when you watch game shows, because that's why people watch game shows is they play along. And of course, the most famous one, we just lost Alex Trebek a little while ago with Jeopardy, is you sit there and play along and you try to make believe that you're as smart as the person that's on the screen, and then you realize, well, A, I'm not, B, I'm playing from home where there's absolutely no pressure, and C, if I was standing on that stage, I would probably just be a blithering idiot. Even if I knew the answer would just be like gone. It's like having an exam in high school about something that you know. They ask you the question, and all of a sudden everything you've ever learned goes out of your mind, and you're looking at a blank page, and you have no idea what to put down. And I'm sure that's what it would be like being on one of these shows.
Now, Lee, I got him back here. So, Gaio's, just hold on 1 second, okay, and I'll get him up on the screen with you momentarily.
Yeah, good. Okay. So we've got Danielle and Walter Gaio, and we're going to get him back up.
Yeah, sorry, Lee. That's just a technical thing happening in the background here.
Stuff
just,
happens.
Buy me some time.
I'll buy you some time.
And it doesn't happen with Jerry D, but again, he doesn't do it live.
Well, that's right.
Right,
We
so
are, when
right,
we
Jerry.
say Niagara 411 live, we are talking Live. And it'll give me an opportunity to once again thank our sponsors. Gales Gas Bars Limited. Go to gales.ca. Find out about their rewards program. They have been fueling this program since its very beginning and grown with us, and that is absolutely fabulous as we have grown with them, and we appreciate that. There's their Gales Rewards program right there, and again, you don't have to try to read it on screen. The other thing that's important to see, that little green oblong shape there at the bottom where it says we are a living wage employer. That's a big deal because they were one of the very first, if not the first, Niagara employer to jump on the bandwagon with the whole living wage issue was hitting the fan a few years ago, and which basically states that we pay an hourly rate to our hourly employees and our salaried employees that match, equal, if you will, what the living wage is determined for our area. And all the statisticians do that. And Gales was one of the first people to step up and do that. So kudos to them for that. It's been going on for a while. Seems to me like yesterday, but it actually was a few years ago. And do go to gales.ca. So Walter and Danielle, sorry we lost you there. Welcome back. What I wanted to ask you here was we all, as I was mentioning while we were trying to get you back here, we all play along at home, as you guys have done with game shows and things like that. And you try to answer before the contestants answer, or you try to match the answer. You play along. So, but what was the difference when you had a couple of dress rehearsals, you said, so I guess you got a bit of a feel for it. But when you're actually under the gun, under the lights, and on the spot, they're filming you, and this is the real deal. Does your brain function differently?
Oh, obviously.
Coming from Mr. Saturday Night himself.
Yeah, sorry, Walter. I didn't want to lead you into that one. I didn't really mean it that way. But how did you feel differently? Let me ask you that question.
Yeah, well, when you're there, it is kind of hard to stay focused because there's so much stuff going on around you with all these lights and people and behind the scenes crew and cameras all over. And you're assigned someone across from you and he's holding up signs telling you applaud or this or that. So you're kind of looking at him and trying to focus on, and then when he asks the question and it's coming down the line and it's like, oh no, I'm next. and there's in my mind, it was name a night of the week you get dressed up. So on a Saturday.
See, there you go. See, it's all explainable.
And it didn't take long. And then it was almost like a delayed reaction. And I think I heard the second question. And then you can see on my expression, I just went, "Oh no!" And I was kind of like, "All right, the damage is done. Move on." And then I found the next three questions were just like that. Just the answers were in my head, so I kind of caught.
And when they asked you, when the question, we froze.
Yeah, I think we lost him again.
Shoot.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to play around with some internet stuff here. Oh, there we go. We're back.
Okay, we're back. Okay, so Walter, I'm coming back to you in a second, Danielle. Walter, when they got to the question, on a hot sunny day or on a sunny day, what do you wear? There are so many different answers. I was thinking shorts, I was thinking sandals, I was whatever. And you said hat. Yeah. And I thought, and I'm sitting there watching the video, and I hadn't seen you guys before. So I'm sitting there watching this thing, and I thought, Walter, you just absolved yourself. I just think you hit it out of the park. Because I thought hat, of course. And that was the one that got you the $10,000.
Yeah.
At the end of, a combination of the others, but I mean, and you hit exactly the number. You said you needed 28 to get to the number, and hat gave you 28.
Yeah, and I think I was lucky because that answer popped in my head because obviously we're on the farm, and on the farm you're always wearing a hat.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing that popped in.
Wow.
And then when I'm sitting there waiting for the result, in my head I was going, "Oh, I should have said sunscreen."
Sunscreen. Yeah. Sunscreen's probably too hip.
Obvious.
But, okay, Danielle, back to you. When you were standing there, you knew your answers, of course. Everybody knew your answers but Walter. Now, when you're standing there back with the family and your dad's answering these questions and Saturday comes out, what did you guys do? Did you like bang into each other or what? Because you weren't on the screen at the time.
We kind of just looked at each other. We're like, uh-oh. He might have just ruined it for us. Yeah, we were all holding hands and we kind of just squeezed each other like, oh, shoot. Like, I don't know what he just said, but he said the wrong answer.
But it was, I mean, the producers... Sorry?
No, I said it worked out, so I guess we can't be mad.
No. Well, it was...
Luckily, there was two other people.
From an entertainment perspective, your family was terrific. The producers must have been thrilled with the finish. Did they say anything to you afterward?
Yeah, just like really good job. And then Jerry walked by and he said good job, and he gave us an autograph, the card that he reads for the fast money. He autographed it and gave it to us. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So you would recommend the experience to others that might want to take a flyer at it?
Oh, totally. Yeah. Like do it. Like I think I've mentioned before. I want to see another Niagara area family on next season. So
that'd be great. Yeah. Who was it you were competing against? Where were they from?
I think Toronto area.
Yeah. All right.
Let me ask you guys, 10 grand. You won it. Congratulations. What are you doing with it?
That was my next question.
Sorry, Lee.
Thanks, Kevin.
We're actually planning, my dad's 60th is next year, so we're planning on a nice family vacation for that.
Oh, that's nice. You don't look a day over 65, Walter.
Yeah. Well, our other daughter and Danielle's sister was in England, so we were thinking, like back in October, going, hopefully, by the spring or whatever, we can go see her. She's teaching over there, but I don't think that's going to happen. And then we got something worked out with charity too. We'll give some weight there.
All right, so give us the names of the rest of your family that participated here, just so that we can give them credit before you guys click off.
So my mom, Catherine.
Yeah.
My brother, Ryan.
Yeah.
And his fiancée, Sarah.
Wonderful. All right. Guys, great sports. Congratulations. I'm super happy for you, Walter, that you got the 10 grand. Because you would have been haunting yourself for ages over that one word. I don't think you even want to go through a Saturday anymore.
No,
but
thank God there's two other people that think like I did there for a second.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's true.
Technically, those two put you over the top.
Those two, there's two other Walters out there somewhere.
I wish they'd get in touch with me so I can thank them.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you for representing Niagara so well and being great sports and a wonderful family. And whatever you do with the 10,000, whether it's a trip or whatever, I hope you enjoy it. Happy 60th to you, Walter.
Thank you.
And
don't rush me.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not rushing. But you got like 40-year-old hair. You're doing good.
Thanks.
All right, Danielle, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye, guys.
Okay. And I'm sorry, we just want to thank everyone else for the comments and everything, and
super
and support that we had. Like, it was unbelievable. The feedback we got. So thank you to everybody.
Wonderful. What a great story. That is just super. Last week, we had a young woman on that competed on Master Chef for the second time recently. That show comes out and starts on February the 14th, so we'll be able to... Jen Jenkins, I believe, is her name, right, Kevin?
Yeah, Jen Jenkins was on. February the 14th is when Master Chef Season 7 debuts.
Yeah, and she was on with us last week. So we're getting some pretty cool publicity here for wonderful Niagarans with great talent and our great sports and great fun. And again, that's why you watch these shows like Family Feud, and some of these families, I don't watch it on a regular basis, but I have seen bits and pieces of it. I used to watch it, show you how old I am. I used to watch it way back when Richard, what's his name, was...
Richard Dawson.
Richard Dawson.
Kissing Bandit.
Yeah, he was the original host of the original Family Feud, and he was an actor on Hogan's Heroes. Remember that old TV sitcom about the prisoner of war camp with Schultz and Hogan and all of, but anyway, Richard Dawson was in that show as a young actor, and then went on to be the first host of the Kissing Bandit. He kissed everybody. That wouldn't be a COVID version of Family Feud by any stretch of the imagination.
More of a Me Too movement.
But you wonder why they're so crazy, and I guess that's what they want you to be. All right, just around the corner, so much fun. Just around the corner is a fellow that posted a 4-minute, what did he call it, Kevin? His 4-minute...
Secret Skating Pass in St. Catharines. It's incredible.
In St. Catharines. And it is just a really nice, serene video, and people that have been wanting to get out on the blades and just do some skating, let alone play hockey, are eating this thing up because it's just a cool thing. We can live vicariously through Jeremy's wonderful skate. They did a nice job of filming the local topography and all that. Very, very pretty for this time of year. So we're going to have Jeremy on, and also, Kevin, before we bring him on, what precipitated this is you and I were chatting, as we always do, about what's coming up on the show, and there have been a lot of things about skating and hockey and backyard rinks and all of these things that people have been trying to do to battle COVID and find something to do during this pandemic era, and we get a lot of mixed messages. We've seen a lot of people putting backyard rinks in, and some of them fairly exotic, neighborhoods getting together to build rather large community-style casual skating rinks, some hockey pads as well being carved out of nature, and then in the same breath, people are being asked to not gather in any way, shape, or form more than 5 people and having to social distance, etc. And so there's really quite a disconnect here. There's Jeremy, and there's the start of this 4-minute video. It seems longer, and wonderfully so, because it just seems like we're going forever along with him on this wonderful, leisurely, sort of relaxing skate.
This is like a perfect Saturday for
Isn't that
me.
Beautiful?
Sorry, Walter, I know you don't want to make plans, but for me, this is what I'd plan to do on Saturday.
You'd want to plan to go there.
And I just came down my Facebook feed, and I looked, and the guys from St. Catharines, the skating trails in St. Catharines, I had to find out where it was, and I figured everybody else wants to know where it was as well. So, hey, you know what? This show's all about talking to regular people, all the people of Niagara.
Yeah.
So reached out to Jeremy, and we'll get him on the show here in a couple minutes.
Yeah. So that's... now, Kevin, you are a dyed-in-the-wool hockey guy if there ever was one. Great hockey player, great history playing the game, just probably aching to be somewhere near a pair of skates any minute now. And I mean, that's not my thing. I enjoyed skating and with the family and all the rest of it. I'm not as dyed-in-the-wool a skater hockey guy as you are. But for people like you, it must be just driving you nuts to not be able to engage in that pastime this winter. And yet
100%.
We see all these rinks on TV news shows where people are skating together in big parks and everything else, and then the governments are telling us and the health places are telling us to not do this. Some of them, some bylaw officers have even been showing up at homemade rinks or community-made rinks. How are we missing something here? What is your take on it? You're closer to that world than I am.
My take on that is it's a total gray area, and it's being handled differently from town to town right across Niagara. We have stories of Beaver Dams Park where there's a bylaw officer parked there to make sure that nobody goes out there. Meanwhile, in Niagara Falls, we've got the fire department flooding a neighborhood rink. technically,
Yeah, there was that video up too. The firefighters are coming out to help.
So which is it? And trust me, I hope it's just free for all, because we need to get outside. The people I feel for, Lee, aren't people like me. It's the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old kids, boys and girls, that are used to playing hockey 3-4 times a week, that are used to skating 3-4 times a week, and now can't do it. And of course, they want to get out, they want to play games with their friends, and it's a bit of a touch and go. Just so you know, the letter of the law is, during the lockdown, 5 people. That's it, 5 people. And you
Socially distance
5 people. But man, do kids want to get out there? Do I want to get out there? Just play a game of shinny in the snow. It's all I want to do. I want to go skate the trail like Jeremy.
Yeah.
And I think we're all a little confused as to what we're rightfully allowed to do. I don't want to see anybody ticketed for going out during lockdown and skating. I mean, how Canadian is that? It's an outdoor activity. There's just nothing left to do.
This is where some of the provincial government messages get twisted, because Premier Ford will come out, and I mean, I don't condemn people for the job they're doing. I think that our politicians and health officers and whatnot, I really honestly think their heart's in the right place. They're trying to do the best thing. So take that out of play. Is the fact that it's hard to make the right decision for everybody, but when you come out and say, I'm perfectly clear, I can't be more clear, stay home, don't do this, and then there are organizations like fire departments help kids make rinks, and it's like, it's a wonderful thing, and I think it's so great that, and it's super for the kids, and it's big-hearted citizens that are coming out to help, but my head starts to hurt because the messages get mixed.
And people are looking, don't get me wrong, I see Facebook posts every day with parents asking, where can we go? Where can we go?
Yeah.
And I guess the skating path that Jeremy introduced me to is one place that we could go. I don't think it's ever wide enough where you would want to congregate and play a game, but you could have a nice leisurely skate. So without further ado, do we want to get Jeremy on to further discuss the topic?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Just give me a minute to do that, Lee. I apologize.
No apologies necessary. You're running this thing. It's okay. We can. We're live. We can skate through this, Kevin.
Oh yes, we are. People are confused. They really are.
Well, I think and frustrated and tired, and pick a descriptive word. It's tell you the truth. My wife and I sit down every evening. We record a bunch of stuff on the PVR because we can't plan our life all around exactly when something comes on. So we record a bunch of things, including newscasts, different newscasts on different network channels, et cetera, across the country. You know, we're media news junkies and whatnot. So we turn the news on, and frankly, I can watch about 5 or 10 minutes of it because there is hardly any story on any cast until you dig really, really, really deep that doesn't have COVID-19, variant, doses, vaccine in the text of the story. And frankly, my eyes start to glaze over. I've heard enough COVID-19, I've heard enough variant, I've seen enough of the same shots. You ever noticed this? Day after day after day. Pay attention. If you haven't noticed it, pay attention. All that film of those little vaccine bottles rolling through the manufacturing shelf, etc., those are the same ones. They use them every single day, and every network drives you absolutely out of your mind. And that's why we have people like Jeremy who come on to give us a little bit more peace of mind. Jeremy, how the heck are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you today?
I'm great. Now, clarify how we do your last name. Is it Paton or Paton? How do we say your last name?
Paton.
Paton. Okay. Where are you right now?
Right now, I'm at the Green Ribbon Trail.
Okay.
Just at the top of where the skating begins on Martindale Road.
Okay. All right. So
there's the parking lot.
All right. Martindale Road. And it begins where?
And it begins right here at the Green Ribbon Trail.
Okay.
If you can see the parking lot here at Martindale.
Yeah, so that's Martindale on your way into port.
Yeah, so that way there, we'll head to port. So right before you get to the end of Martindale Road, close to Port Dalhousie, is basically where everyone goes. So I'll start to take a walk down.
Okay. That's great that you're doing this. Thank you.
Everybody knows where it is. I know a lot of people have been lost. And thank you so much for having me on 401 Niagara. You guys are the greatest. And
Thanks.
thanks to the whole city during COVID-19 for helping out people. I've seen so much happen, and thank God for everybody for what they've done. So,
What do you normally do, Jeremy? Where do you work? When you work?
well, I am retired, so I basically just make videos, and I'm a stay-at-home father.
Wow.
I have 2 kids. Yeah.
Wow.
So I have 2 kids. I'll show you guys the path here.
Okay.
Can you see the path?
Yep.
So over there, that little section you see there
Yeah.
is the path.
Okay.
So I'll jump down here. Beautiful day today. It did snow recently, so there's a little bit of snow on the ground. You're going to have to wait for it to get a little bit more wetter.
Yeah.
So people are skating.
So
How are you today?
well, good. So Jeremy, when you put that video up, it looked such like the ice looked so smooth. There wasn't a lot of snow covering the surface. It was like somebody had actually just scraped that entire path. Like there's the video there. It looks absolutely beautiful.
You're right. Yeah. You know, I went back the next day to go for a skate, and it was a little bit snowy, so it's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
I do recommend to wear a helmet if you come out here, just for safety if you can. So there's a couple people out here skating today. So these are the skating rinks. So this is the bridge
Okay.
that everyone might know about if they've been down the Green Ribbon Trail.
Yeah.
This is some skating rinks. And like you said before, yeah, we're not sure what we are allowed to do right now. So right now I'm just going for an exercise, going for a nice walk.
Yeah.
And that's all I've been told is just go for an exercise. So when I come skating here, I exercise.
Well, I'm surprised that there aren't more people. Before we got you on here, I don't know if you were listening, but Kevin and I were talking about the mixed signals that we kind of get about what community rinks and backyard rinks and people getting together, et cetera, for especially the hockey players and people like that. How do you like? What's your take on this? I guess obviously you don't have a problem because there's nobody around you there.
Well, yeah, today is not a bad day. I've been coming here for years. It's been very quiet. I've been skating alone, playing hockey by myself, bring a friend. It's COVID-19. I think the weekend, it was super busy. There was a lot of kids, like a lot. I think teams were practicing and playing. It was a great thing. Like the 6 foot distance might have not been happening, but they're having fun. And I think for people's mental health during the winter times, instead of being locked up at home anyway, the city should make a skating rink available for people, like a public skating rink, free of charge. Just go there and skate and, get yourself out of the house, no matter lockdown or not.
Yeah.
It's good to have.
One of the things that I wish would happen is that some leading health professional would come out and endorse the fact that it's okay to be outdoors doing certain activities under certain circumstances, because I saw one fellow in an interview a couple of weeks ago when somebody was asking them about masks in outside, whether it is easier to catch this weather in cold weather as opposed to warm weather. And he said, well, the temperature makes a bit of a difference, but frankly, if you're outside, chances are, especially in conditions like this, chances are you're fairly safe. I mean,
Yeah.
the odds of somebody getting seriously ill from being in a big rink or a big skating area like that are pretty slim.
I would think so. I mean, here's the path here. So you can see the skaters down there today.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of snow, but it's still glidable. It's a great day for that.
Does anybody ever come and clear the snow off?
You could use a shovel, but I think in time it will come back. Like, so it did snow the last 2 days, so it's a little bit different. But as you see the tracks in the ground, people have been skating here.
Oh
still.
yeah. For
And
sure.
it's a great path. I raced that road, so it was about 4 minutes long, but it probably takes a regular person about 12 minutes at a slow pace.
Okay.
I was going as fast as I could.
But then again, you got to come back.
You got to go there, and then you got to come back, and it's quite tiring. So if you're not used to skating too far, just be careful. Like I
Right.
said, wear a helmet because you never know when there's a little notch in the ice too, right? And you don't want
Yeah.
to fall and hurt your head.
That's exactly right. I remember when I was saying earlier to Kevin, I grew up in the Black Creek area here in Niagara, and the community back in the day used to just cross this little field and go down to the creek, and the whole community would be out there skating for quite a length. But every now and then you'd hit a nodule or a bump or whatever where it didn't freeze so well, and you could take a bit of a fall if you weren't too careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right now,
Not
Jeremy,
careful,
we've
yeah.
got the current your current live shot with the recorded video, and you can see that you're right, it's almost snow covered now, but when was that? 4 or 5 days ago?
That was about 3 days ago, yeah. On the weekend, I was there, and everybody was here, and it was a great time. I was handing out Tim Hortons cards to random skaters with helmets, and
Wow, good for you.
so Monday came. I went on Monday. It snowed. Nobody was here. I skated by myself. I was just thinking maybe it was because parents were back to work on a Monday, and it was the weekend. Let's get out.
Yeah, good for you. Now, was the ice as smooth as it looks in your video, or was it sort of pebbly?
Most of it was pretty smooth. Right where I am right now, where you see the path on the left is the smoothest. If you come over here, it might be a little bit choppier, but it's still skatable. But the path was amazing. I do it every year, but it was a great day that day to record, and I was like with my friends, so I was like, let's go for a little skate and post it, I guess, and let everybody know about this for once.
Well,
Only because for a long time, I thought I was the only one that knew about this, because when I come skating by myself over the last couple of years, there's barely anybody here. There's a net usually there for people if they want to use it, and I've used that, and you leave it there, and it's been great. But
now, did you ever did it cross your mind that maybe you shouldn't put this video up there because then everybody will come there and they'll take away your place to skate?
no, the more people, the better it is.
All right.
It's a great place. And when I see things like the skating pass on Facebook of other places, like I want to go, but I just can't go because I don't know where to actually find it. So
Yeah. Well,
this is great.
Good
and
for
this
you.
is a great little spot.
Good for you, Jeremy, and thank you for posting the video, first of all, and then taking time to give us the tour live and in person here today. That's awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah. No problem. I wish it was a little bit clearer today. I would think that we're going to have to wait for a little bit of melting to happen, and then it will soften up.
Yeah.
Usually after a little rainfall, it clears it right away, and you can go the next day. But
Well,
just
the
know
next
last
time,
two days-
next time you go out there and do your 4-minute skate, take one of those snow scoops with you and just make a path.
Yeah, I'll bring a shovel. So you can see these skaters coming through right now.
Yeah.
They're skating through the non-path.
Yeah.
Pretty
Can we-
smooth
can we
out
get a
there,
hello
boys.
from them?
Pretty smooth.
Hello. Wave hello.
Oh, yeah. So they're gliding right through.
There they go.
So,
That's great.
so I know there's a little snow, but it's still available. But
Well,
it
they're
looks
moving-
beautiful once it's cleared off.
They're moving pretty well through there.
Yeah, it's really smooth. It's surprisingly amazing.
Very
The water could be a
cool.
little bit clear, so we could see under the water, but that's okay.
Yeah. Wow.
But, yeah.
Jeremy Paton, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for the video. Thanks for giving us a little bit of respite from this craziness. And I hope some people come down and join you.
Yeah, you know what? I hope so too. I guess maybe the weekends are the thing. We'll see. It's still the weekday. School's going to be starting up soon, so I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of alone time, which will be good.
Now is now is that actually called Martindale Pond?
I don't actually know what it's called. This is the Green Ribbon Trail. I've always called it Martindale Pond just because it's the pond near there.
Okay.
My assumption
it's
is here to jump in is that Martindale Pond becomes 12 Mile Creek.
Well, that's what I thought.
So
Yeah, so it's like an extension of 12 Mile Creek.
there's got to be a dividing line somewhere,
Correct.
but
Yeah.
I don't think there's a sign.
Right.
So I would just say the Green Ribbon Trail on Martindale Road is the starting to park and then walk down.
All right. Jeremy, I hope you come back and join the program sometime. Keep us posted on your nature experiences. Just a great public service for you. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you guys, and like I said, keep up the good work. We appreciate everything 411 does. Without you guys, we wouldn't get very much of the closed up news. And like I said to the city of St. Catharines, the citizens, you're all doing a great job through this COVID-19. You're staying strong. Keep at it, and we'll all get through this together, okay?
Good comments, Jeremy. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too, my friend.
Bye-bye.
What a great fellow. Again, I'm always amazed. When we started this show, the concept was, again, lest I flog the dead horse, as the old cliche goes, in Niagara, for Niagara, by Niagarans. And the Niagarans we've had a chance to meet in all these various shapes and forms are never anything short of amazing. Kevin, it always makes me, by the end of the show, I always feel, no matter, sometimes we treat some very serious subjects, and so be it, that's what we're here to do. But every time we finish one of these shows, I just feel good about the fact that we have actually been able to connect once again, Niagara with Niagara.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like, we just want to talk to regular Niagarans, and we haven't pointed it out, Lee, but if anybody ever wants to come on the show, if you've got a secret skating trail, or you got a little hideout, or you want to address public skating and playing shinny hockey amidst COVID, the link is right there in the description. We encourage anybody to come on the show at any time. We've been asked sometimes, Lee, like, hey, how do I get on the show? Well, you can come on whenever you want. I mean, the link's right there. So we're live Thursdays, noon to 1:30. If you're watching us right now, you're watching this live, click on the link. We'll throw you on, and you can share your thoughts.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Kevin, because that was one of the things that I had here on my little notepad. See, I'm old-fashioned. I still use pens and paper sometimes for things, not just digital. I guess it's my security blanket. But that is, to go to Kevin's point, something that every single week I run into folks, and they say, hey, I'd like to come on. And we invite you every week. And it doesn't matter whether you're a business. We have no specific political affiliations. We have no specific business affiliations except for our sponsors, which we appreciate very much, i.e. Gale's Gas Bars, WeeStream, Fiddler's Poorhouse, Niagara 411, but we will talk with, we've talked with, yes, we're sitting in a restaurant / sports bar pub in downtown St. Catharines, but we've had other people on from other restaurants that have been here. That's quite all right. Dave Mukperian is in the community of restaurateurs here. We have no sacred cows, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. There is no topic that is not approachable. There is no particular category whom we won't talk to. There's no worry about sponsorships colliding or any of those things. If you have a reason or just some sort of personal incentive to pop onto the show, you can do that, and we'll talk to you. There's no screening. If you start to get nasty or whatever, we can always push a button and go bing, and you're out. But most people aren't like that. So when somebody says, hey, I'd really like to come on the show, all you have to do is come to the live stream on Thursdays at noon, click on the Zoom link in the post as it says at the bottom of your screen, and you're here. That simple.
Now, Lee, wanted to share with you here, while we're talking about outdoor activity, I know this is going to segue into a tragedy here in Niagara. On Monday was a PA day for my kids, and by the way, hallelujah, in-school learning resumes on Monday.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Monday was a PA day for the French Catholic Board, so my kids and I went out to Charles Daly Park. We'd never been out there tobogganing before, and we went out there, so I wanted to share a little video here of my
These are the jacks?
Yeah, there we go. There's little Ayla, little Alex.
Wow.
Let them go.
Now, that thing he's on, is that a snow racer?
Yeah, it's a GT snow racer.
GT snow racer. Now, how old are they? Not the kids, the snow racers.
There's little Ayla, and she is 7 years old.
Hi, Ayla.
She's 7 years old. Then we go to check out on Alex and see how he did. Alex is 5. So he's 5, senior kindergarten. Ayla is 7 in deuxième année, as they would call it.
Well, Alex is an overachiever with that right.
And just so you know, the water there in the pond was frozen, and this was not our first run. So we knew they couldn't get all the way to the water.
All the way to the water. Yeah.
Stopped just short.
Yeah.
And it was windy on Monday, if you remember.
Yes, it was. The GT Snow Racer goes back to when I had little kids. That thing's been how long have you had those things? Those GT.
I've had them for years. Those are the original ones I had as a child.
The original ones?
No, I picked them up over the years. I mean, I had one growing up.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened to that one. I think I broke it in high school.
We had them for my kids. That's why I'm.
Absolutely, they're the best.
They were awesome.
Yeah, they're the best.
And to go to what Kevin was talking about earlier is there was a tragic story that happened, and I'm sorry to go through these sort of roller coaster series of emotions on the program, but it's kind of what we do, and we didn't want to leave this one out. 4:15 on that day, the Niagara Regional Police were called to the scene of a serious investigation involving a child in a vehicle. The child has been pronounced deceased. It is early in the investigation. Now, this youngster's name, Adam Komar, is 4 years old, and this happened in Lincoln, Green Lane Road between Bartlett and Garden Gate Terrace. And this young boy was on a toboggan, came down a hill. Kevin will put the picture up shortly and show you the area, which obviously will garner a lot of questions, but he went down on his toboggan into the road and was hit by a pickup truck and unfortunately has died. I can't imagine what that would be like for the parents, the family, the friends, the poor person that was driving the truck. Many lives changed forever on that day. And again, you'll look at it. We get the fact that when people look at social media, that there's a lot of judgmental comments. And we don't know what the circumstances were that led this 4-year-old child to be on a toboggan in that particular spot, which looked rather dangerous from the outside if you look at the picture. And you will see what Kevin had up on the board there is the fact that there's a GoFundMe page set up for young Adam to defray family expenses that were obviously unexpected at this time. So that GoFundMe page is available. And again, a lot of questions, hopefully not a lot of judgments, but it just indicates like that parents need to be, we all need to be watchful of kids when they're playing, and always be on the watch, because you never know where they're playing half the time, or maybe most of the time. So that goes to skating on thin ice, as the old expression goes. But Kevin, years and years and years ago, we never in Niagara had to be concerned with thin ice. We would get winter in November, and it would stay till pretty much almost March, and just about anything, even along the shore of the lakes, just about anything was pretty much frozen over. There were times even when I remember in the media business, we used to talk about whether the lakes were actually frozen over. Like a Lake Ontario would be sometimes frozen over. That used to be the big thing. Is the lake going to freeze over? Meaning from like Port Dalhousie to Toronto. Is it going to freeze? Now you know it's not. It's just the way weather patterns have changed, and we always have. And I think about what we just saw with Jeremy, when things start to get a little bit softer, when temperatures start to get a little bit warmer, we have to be a little bit more careful, and that goes to things like tobogganing and sledding and just about anything. Tragedies can take place. So just watch. Again, I hate preaching or anything, but you never know what you're going to run into that isn't what you expected. In memory of Adam Komar, $45,000 has been raised of a goal of $25,000. Wonderful Niagarans again stepping up to help out.
It's just awful. Just awful. Lee,
Terrible.
you and I were talking off the air about what a tragedy it was. I expressed that one thing I didn't expect to happen when I became a parent was how I was emotionally affected by the plight of other children. And I guess it comes with the territory, but right away, I mean, you saw my video there of the fun time I was having with my 5-year-old son, Alex, and my 7-year-old daughter, Ayla, and that could have been either of those two. And I couldn't imagine what the rest of my life would be without them. And it's just tragic. My heart bleeds for the Colmar family, and it seems that the rest of Niagara is stepping up here, $45,000. So it's just so sad, so sad.
Adam leaves behind his younger brother Danielle, mother Margaret, dad Michael, and a wide circle of family and friends who just thought he was the greatest little dude. I will bet. The money from this GoFundMe will go to help alleviate any financial needs and unexpected costs the family may incur as a result of the accident. And here's something that you'll want to know. The family wants to donate any leftover money in Adam's name back into the community of children that Adam was a part. Adam had a big conscientious heart. He always talked about growing up and doing great things to help people. The Colmars would like to extend their gratitude to the community for their overwhelming love and support they have received since the accident. So I don't know what else there is to say. Very sad.
Awful. Lee, just to give you a nice little segue out of there, you're talking about the cold weather, and we're actually getting into a cold snap here. It will feel like real weather for the next couple of weeks. You can see the forecast there in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. The next week is like -8, -9 for highs. 2014, I mean, it wasn't that long ago that we could expect to see situations like this down in Niagara Falls. That's 2014. Remember, it was frozen over. People were climbing with ice picks up it, like like Red Bull athletes.
Yeah. We have had quite a mild, calm winter, and I guess that's a good thing because with the stress of COVID happening, it's nice that we haven't had an overly stressful winter to go along with it. Now that I probably said that, watch us absolutely get hammered. But we've really only had 2 snow events since the winter started. Christmas time, which was great because we had snow on the ground for Christmas, and just last week. So that's been it as far as our snow experiences, pretty much, other than a few flurries here in Niagara. Now again, sorry if I've jinxed us and then we get absolutely hammered, but that's the way our winter has been. Now, James Symons. Have we heard from James yet?
Yeah, James is here in the green room, and I'll get him prepped. James, just want to let you know, if you could go ahead and unmute yourself, James, and when you do that, we'll get you on the program. But Lee, not sure if there's anything else you wanted to touch on. The helicopters in Niagara Falls yesterday, I know Niagara 411 was all over that.
The people didn't know there were apparently 3 helicopters zipping around, and people didn't know what they were. But Nick at Niagara 411, as per usual, was on top of it, and it was all good news. These helicopters were on a photo shoot for a magazine called Vertical Magazine. I'm having sort of an assumption here that it has something to do with people that are familiar with helicopters or long view photography, because helicopters vertical, the thing. Anyway, a couple of camera choppers and 1 lead chopper, and they were taking pictures. And what a wonderful time of year and a pretty time of year around Niagara and the falls to do that. So all 3 machines were here on friendly purposes. They weren't invading. They weren't on rescue missions. Everybody's fine. And it was a beautiful day to do it. And so that's the chopper mystery. Unfortunately, we don't have any pictures of them.
Yeah, there were a couple here in the comments, but usually when the Lancaster bomber goes over, we got people all over Niagara flooding Niagara 411 with photos and videos from their backyard, from their rooftop.
So that was the chopper thing. Before we do bring James on,
there we go, Lee. I mean, there was this. Somebody.
Oh, was that one?
Yeah. So somebody posted that yesterday.
Okay.
And, I mean, very far away, but I mean, they're pretty high up.
Yeah. I thought orange was reserved for emergency helicopter
That looks more
colors.
red. I'll give him a pass on red.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It kind of looks orange to me.
Yeah, fair enough. And
But we all see colors differently. My wife's blue is my green's. So who knows?
And there were reports, Lee, from just this morning, about an hour before we went to air, that the orange helicopter was in Welland for a serious motor collision. Just
All right, so there
FYI.
was a rescue helicopter around today.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing before we do bring James on is you touched on it earlier. There is almost a general sigh of relief going on around Niagara because apparently our schools are going back in on Monday. Kevin, Mr. Parent of school-aged 5 and 7-year-old children, were back in class.
Back in class on Monday. Here, I'll throw up the little graphic here in story from Niagara 411.
Schools reopen for in-person learning Monday, February 8th, 2021, and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. So there you go. Thanks, Nick, for putting that up, and all the details are there. Brownstown, Haldeman, Durham, City of Hamilton, Perth, and Niagara region.
There's the big one right there.
Kevin, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
The other debate, and there has not been a decision on this yet in Ontario, to cancel or not to cancel March break. There is a debate going on right now in the political circles of our province in conjunction with medical officers of health with regard to do we or don't we cancel March break. Some of the teachers are saying if you cancel it, the kids will get caught up on some of the in-class learning that they missed. Some of the other people are saying all these families and kids, etc., need a break. I don't know how I guess that break differs from the fact that...
What are we breaking from?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
I guess
I heard that story, Lee. I'm 1,000% behind it. Go ahead and cancel March break. What are we doing on March break? It's Groundhog Day. I just had 6 weeks of March break. Now they're going to go back to school for 3 weeks and give another week at home?
Now, wait a
For
minute.
what? And they are falling behind. My children, and not saying my children are falling behind other children, but it's difficult for them with the curriculum. It's difficult for the teachers to administer it. It's difficult for the kids to get the aid that they need when everybody's online. I'll just go to, it's not impossible, but it's difficult.
Okay, give yourself a shot of Percocet there for a second, and I'll come back to you. But but here's the other view being that what there is a break from is parents feeling that they have to sit there and homeschool their children and sit in front of a computer screen and try to discipline them, etc. And the March break can bring them just sort of a family break of just doing family stuff. I mean, that's the other side of the argument.
There's nothing to do.
Okay.
There's nothing to do, Lee.
All right, so you're
You know
standing firm.
I felt bad. I was putting my son to bed the other night, well, son and daughter, but particularly putting my son to bed. He had a particularly rough day. You know, as they are in that age, they can just kind of have bad days where it seems that they're climbing uphill the whole day. And I tried to reassure him and tell him that, hey, tomorrow's going to be a different day. And I couldn't do it honestly. Tomorrow wasn't going to be different. Sorry, son. Tomorrow's going to be exactly the same as today. And the day after that is going to be exactly the same as today. There's nothing on the horizon to shake it up. But at least now, back to school on Monday, they can see their friends. They can get out of the house. They can interact. And boy, oh boy, do they need that.
Yeah, okay. To tell you the truth, being a non-parent and not affected by what decisions the Ministry of Education makes, I myself have to defer to people like you because I shouldn't have an opinion. However, if I were to have an opinion, it would say cancel the March break and keep the children, as long as everybody's healthy, in that classroom as long as they possibly and as often as they possibly can. Just get them back with their friends, because that's really where they want to be, right? Sometime they want to be there. So, all right, Kevin. Well, there's our side of that debate. And you're right. It's like the movie Groundhog Day all over again. And we have joining us on the program right now James Symons. James is his day job is an employee of Costco in Niagara Falls, but for I think my information says it's like the 4th year in a row he's operating a project called Niagara Toolbox Project. And James, I'd like to welcome you to the show. Thanks for coming in here.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thanks for having me on the show. You guys do some great work. Kevin's one of the most friendliest people I know. I usually do an event with him every spring for the Niagara Life Center, the walkathon, but with this, we haven't been able to do it, but he still comes into Costco and says hi to me. He never doesn't leave Costco without saying hi to me.
Nice.
Very approachable guy.
Yeah, well, at least
Back at you, James. Absolutely.
At least he's got one fan out there. That's great.
All right. Have at it, you two. Have at it.
So, first of all, James, you did work at the Costco, the YMCA Drive in St. Catharines location, right?
Yes, I did.
So how has it changed? Do you like the Niagara Falls location better, or St. Catharines, or how's that changed your life?
I'm full-time at the Falls. I was not full-time in St. Catharines. I was part-time.
Oh, so awesome.
There's been an added bonus finding full-time work during a pandemic. They've been an absolutely great employer, and especially even during the time of the pandemic, you see managers on the floor packing, unloading stuff in the carts, stocking shelves. Managers are readily available. I'm getting used to the Falls store. It's like double the size of St. Catharines.
Okay.
So when you get used to one store and then you have to go to another store.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're doing well through this thing, and I know there's a lot of people that go in and out of there. So I hope you stay well and healthy and get through this. Great. So let's move on from that and talk about the project that you're working on, and it is the fourth year for the Niagara Toolbox project, right?
We completed our fourth year in December.
Okay, so tell us about it.
We're working on our fifth year.
Tell us about it.
So 4 years ago, it was approaching Christmas, and I seen 3 projects taking place for women who are experiencing poverty or who are homeless. I had previously volunteered at Suffrage Shelter, knowing that there was men homeless. So I did research. I didn't want to say, oh, there's nothing for men when there was a million projects for the men. And I called Suffrage. I said, what do the men receive Christmas morning? And they said, nothing. So the ladies in the shelter would have received a pair of pajamas, a purse with stuff, plus a shoebox. So I felt there was a need to assist the men and provide some joy to the men at Christmas. So I brainstormed that afternoon, asked friends and family what they would do if they would support it. And they said, yeah, whatever you need. Discussed with my brother what we could call it. And he said, men relate to tools in their jobs, in their work, wherever, sports, life, fixing the house. So I said, well, I'm going to name this Toolbox. Started a goal of 25, just care packages for men, winter accessories, basic hygiene items, a snack, something fun that they could pass time with, like a word search, deck of cards. Snack was like a chocolate bar candy. Started with a goal of 25, went out in the media and everything. We did 360 our first year. The following year, 550. Third year, Thorold Fire came on, and they said, we want to help you. We can get you more numbers, more people to help, and 750. Wow. Last 2 years, Furniture Bank has been supporting us with logistics. They take a day out of their time and deliver with us, and we are going to be merging with them soon. We have a partnership with the Niagara Furniture Bank now. This year, we were able to do over 850. Wow. We had our best year during a pandemic.
Unbelievable. Now, do you have a group of people that help you put these things together, or how do you do it logistically?
This year was very different. In the past, we have community nights at the Thorold Community Activity Group. They give us space. Dan Pelchet is absolutely amazing. My coworker, Wendy Ferguson, store stuff in our basement, stored at various friends' places. Thankfully, to the Furniture Bank, we have a warehouse now. Then we gather and assemble. But this year, we weren't able to really gather.
Right.
So my coworker took the responsibility in our basement. I have a friend, Kelly Gualtieri, absolutely amazing lady. She's been with us since the beginning. Kept emailing me, James, how can I help this year? Kelly, there's no help. We're limited in interacting with volunteers. So it was going to be me and my dad delivering. I didn't even know at that point if Furniture Bank was going to be on board. Then Matt reaches out to me in November. Are we delivering? Are we back at this? I said, we have to follow protocol. He said, yeah, we can mask up, bring hand sanitizer, socially distance. And they helped us deliver. And when we were just about done, we received a message from a friend that the people at Winchester Terrace could use stuff. So we went in there and we found out the women needed stuff, the men needed stuff. They had 2 sister homes in Niagara Falls that needed stuff. So myself and Furniture Bank, we went on Facebook and said to the community, we need help. And we were able to raise $3,000 between Saturday night and Sunday morning. Oh. And we were able to deliver another 600 packages, plus several places like Jillian's Place and such. We were able to deliver kitchen care packages with chocolate bars and snacks. When we went into Winchester Terrace, there was a place for women and men. The team approached me and said, what do we do here? You only take care of men. I said, well, we have to overcome this barrier. I said, we're going to look like fools by delivering packages just to the men. I said, we all need to take care of everyone. So we helped the women there too. It was a great feeling. Chris Green's been with me since the beginning from Niagara Health. My vice president, great leadership there, and he helps get our bins out. Just an absolutely amazing team. Thorold Fire was absolutely great again this year. Never disappointing.
Now, who does all the buying of all these things and purchasing? Do you do that?
So we have bins throughout Niagara for a 5-week period. People can drop off items. Churches gather items. Individuals grab items. Places. Bolt Realty had a bin, and we were able to fill a car 6 times with all the stuff from Bolt Realty. And Bolt Realty was absolutely fantastic. They've been on board for the last 2 years, and the donations were really up this year. People give checks too, so we'll go shopping on behalf of the people. The Dollar Tree, when we go in, they just stop what they're doing, welcome us. They get boxes ready for us. They get shopping carts. They're just amazing. The community effort has been awesome.
James, I cannot express how astounded I am that there are people out there like you who get so energized by helping your fellow human, and I can't say enough how much you impress me. You've become. I've never had a chance to talk with you before. I've seen your face. I've heard about your program before, but I've never had a chance to talk with you, and you just became one of my heroes. You are a wonderful human, and we thank you for just the heart that will inspire someone like you to do these things, and to all the people that help you. It's amazing, and I just want to thank you for sharing your story with us. I wanted to ask you one question off the bat, and I know this sort of is a fluid thing by the sound of what you were just talking about. How do you initially get the information for the people that you're going to hand out these toolboxes to? Where do you get the names and the identities from?
I reach out to the shelters. I follow different things on 411. There's some amazing outreach groups out there, and food banks. And if we have ever missed anyone, we are deeply sorry. And if you're an agency that would like to receive Toolbox, feel free to reach out to us. We're hoping. We realize that doing a Toolbox this year that see you next December is not enough. We're trying to do things throughout the year.
Right.
We're working on a spring project. If people want to donate to that, there's people in encampments that are still going to need stuff. We're probably going to do a summer project. Pretty soon we'll be announcing a merger with Furniture Bank once this lockdown ends and we're able to sign papers and discuss things. Shout out to Matt Cuthbert and the team at Furniture Bank. Absolutely amazing. So supportive. We go out and do our deliveries. We have so much fun, and they're so organized, and they refuse to talk about what they did at several sites. They said, this is about Toolbox. It's Toolbox Day. And I'm like, no, we can share what you do, and it's just absolutely amazing what they do.
So before we let you go, you mentioned if there are agencies that know people that could use your services to reach out to you. What's the easiest way to contact you, James?
Through Facebook or through my email, James Symons, all lowercase, SYMONS79 @gmail.com.
Okay. So if we go on Facebook and do like Niagara Toolbox, we'll find you?
Yes, for sure.
Awesome. James Symons, you are a credit to your race. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
And
thank you, Kevin. Keep up the great work, Kevin, and great to meet you, Leah. I've always followed you, and
thank
great
you.
to actually meet you.
Great to meet you too.
Yeah, right back. Oh, right back at you, James. Keep up the great work.
All the best. Have a wonderful day and a nice weekend, and keep it up.
Thank you, and thank you, Niagara.
Wow. How do you top an act like that, Kevin?
I know. What have you done today?
Yeah, I just did this little old lame TV online.
Just I'll throw it up there. So there you go. Toolbox Niagara.
Yeah.
Charity organization.
Yeah. Look at that.
And all the information. But if if you're looking for them on Facebook and you stumble on a page that looks like that, that's them. That's James.
Wow. Thank you to Walter and Danielle, Gaio, Jeremy Paton for taking us on that beautiful Martindale into 12 Mile Creek skate. I hope you're able to take advantage of his secret skating spot. Unfortunately, it won't be secret for much longer. And of course, James, man, what a story. Kevin, as per usual, a pleasure to deal with you and your WeeStream technology and your contribution to the show. As always, it's great fun.
You as well, Lee.
After a gazillion years in the so-called traditional media and all the trials and tribulations that's been through over the last little while, it's actually thrilling to work with you on this project. We have no idea where this thing is going to go, but we're having a blast doing it, and it's wonderful to connect Niagarans with Niagarans, and I hope you can come back for episode 6 of season 2 a week from today. Thank you to Gail's Gaspars.
A little tease there, Lee, before you get it. By episode 6 next week, we might have some podcasting information.
Okay.
For all of you. So people that might not be able to watch the show, if you want to listen, I think we're going to have some podcasts available on all your major platforms.
There you go.
And before I let you kind of throw it away, I'll let you know, Lee, that coming up, we always end the show with a nice shot of St. Paul and some music from Niagara artists. This week, it's going to be the song Save Me by Dorian Gray. They were nominated for a Niagara Music Award in 2019. So we got that to look forward to.
Okay, so before we get to Dorian Gray and Save Me, we shall thank once again Gail's Gaspars Limited for fueling this program, WeeStream for producing it and driving it, Niagara 411 for our content partnership, and of course, Fiddler's Poorhouse for hosting us in this beautiful downtown St. Catharines window. Niagara 411 Live with Lee Sterry comes back a week from today at noon. Hope you can be here. And without further ado, Dorian Gray and Save Me. Have a wonderful day.
to guide me away from this night.